you're kind of a self-proclaimed, and if you go into your YouTube channel, there's so many good videos on tire choice, tire size, and it seems to be a
Mhm.
conversation that I had Sophia Gomez on a couple of weeks ago, and she said it's just like every week, people are like, "What tires are you using today? What tires are you using today?"
Yep.
What's the considerations when someone, because we're kind of getting over in Europe, and I'm aware that we have like even 40% of our listeners are US as well, so it's coming into gravel season right now, if not started in quite a few places. When someone's looking at their event and they're thinking to themselves, okay, what tires should I choose for this event? What considerations are you taking into mind?
Yeah, I mean, there's all the typical ones. How much road is there? How much gravel is there? How chunky is the gravel? How much climbing, how much descending is there, single track, all of that. But I'm going to be honest, I think that the industry in general has gravel tire size wrong right now. And I'm gonna be referencing what how mountain biking and road cycling has come a long way in their tires in the past few years. You know, 20 years ago, roadies were on what, 20 millimeter tires. What were you on when you were racing
I
pro
used a
road?
time trial with a 19 on the front and a 21 on the back. And that was
Exactly.
like the idea then, like you mixed up these tire choices. But 21 to 23 was pretty standard for criteriums. And
Yeah,
always 140 PSI. Like you didn't even
right.
question that.
Always 140 psi. Yep. so so now look where the world tour teams are at now. I mean, a lot of them are on 28s now, and they're running what, 70 psi. So it's quite a bit different on the mountain bike side. Guys used to run 1.9, 2.0 tires. Now Nino's only on 2.4s. Like that's all he runs. So tires in both mountain bike and road have just gotten wider and wider and wider, and it's because it's faster. And I think that we're just going to see the same thing happen in gravel. Gravel tires are going to get wider and wider and wider, and it's because it's faster. And this isn't that hard to test. I don't know why more people don't do this. All you have to do is go to a section of gravel, ride it at a certain power output, switch tires, ride it at the same power output, and then you'll be surprised by how much faster you go when you put the wider tires on. This blows people's mind when I tell them this, but
these homemade tests are unbelievable. I was getting into time trialing back in the day when I was trying to make my way through cycling, and I was coming through as a broke student, so I had very little cash. Definitely wind tunnel testing. It's not very accessible now. It was a lot less accessible like 7, 8, 9 years ago. I just got a bunch of TT helmets from all my friends, went up to the top of an incline, locked myself into position, got a push start from my buddy in helmet A, marked it with chalk down the bottom where I stopped rolling, came back up, same position, same push, mark it in chalk with helmet B. It's pretty rudimentary, but you can draw some conclusions from that.
Like, yeah, I'm not saying this is perfect science by any means. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying if you want to have a rough idea of whether something is faster or slower, you can test it. You don't just have to guess or just look at what the competition is running. I think what most people do is they just look at what the competition is running and say, okay, I'll run the same thing because they must be right.
But so there's so many buckets there. You're talking about, percentage of tarmac versus gravel, how technical it is, or in terms of how sharp it is. Puncture resistance, does it need sidewall puncture resistance? But do these tire choices then fall into a number of buckets for you, that you have 2 or 3 go-to tire choices, or are you literally playing with 15 or 20 different tire choice options?
I have a favorite gravel tire right now that I use for the vast majority of gravel races. I won't use it for every single gravel race, but my go-to tire is the Specialized Pathfinder Pro, and they just started making it in a 47 millimeter, and that's what I've been running. It's probably what I'll run for 85% of the gravel races I do this year. And then for some of the other races that maybe have more road, I might run the Challenge Strada Bianchi in the 40 millimeter because it's quite a fast tire, but it punctures easy. So I don't have 20 different tires I'm choosing from, but it's more that I have a select few that I really like. And I don't have a tire sponsor, by the way. So I I try a bunch of different tires and I will give you my honest opinion on them.
Is there a big advantage to not having a tire sponsor?
Yeah, the big advantage is that you can run the best tire. I actually kind of feel bad for certain riders that have certain tire sponsors, to be honest with you, because it seems to me that there are some companies that are really nailing it on their mountain bike tire and really dropping the ball on their gravel tire, and then vice versa. There's some companies that are nailing it on the gravel, dropping the ball on the mountain bike. The Lifetime Grand Prix has both mountain bike and gravel, and some riders, I just feel bad for them that they have to run these certain tires for certain races.
So your Pathfinder, say Pathfinder 44 is your go-to?
47.
47. So you're embracing this wide already.
I test this. I test this and it's faster. And that blows people's mind. When you tell them 47, it blows their mind. They're like, there's no way that's faster. There's no way that's faster. Try it for yourself.
So if you like this video, you should definitely check out this video because I know you're going to love it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.